Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Anime Overanalyst here, and today's video is a review of One Piece chapter 1018 called Jinbei versus Who's Who. So the chapter starts off with just an image of page one trying to read a picture book like one does. Who doesn't want to read a picture book every once in a while? But unfortunately, his sister Ulti is just pestering him, trying to make him play dinosaurs with her. She's got these dinosaur plushies, and she's like, "Hey, Pepe, play with me, play with me, play with me." And he's like, I'm trying to read this masterpiece of a picture book, man. It's like the what was it? The Hungry Caterpillar or something like that? I don't know. It's been forever since I've read a picture book. Unless you want to consider manga a picture book. Is manga considered a picture book? I don't know. I don't know about that. Anyways, so that's the cover art. It's pretty cool. So we start off with everyone's wrecking havoc in the castle interior. We've got all those grifters. Wait, I'm gonna make sure. Yes, headliners actually. All those headliners switching sides, and they have like grifter powers. Basically, they're the smile users that have the weird bodies because they consumed the smile fruit. So they're all switching sides, and chaos is ensuing because, of course, it is. And they all like, hey, it must be Tama. It's Otama's fault because she commanded that order, and all of a sudden we're obeying her. So it's obviously her fault. Let's see if killing her will make it stop. And so Nami has Otama scooped up in her arms, and they're running away with Usopp right next to them. And as they're running, Zeus is like, "Oh, hey, Nami, can I be your servant again?" And Nami's like, "Nah, we're gonna be partners." Um, Before that happened, though, I forgot to mention that Speed comes, and both Nami and Toma get onto Speed's back, and they leave Usopp behind. Usopp's like, "Please, please, let me go with," and they're like, "Nah, no, too bad." And so yes, they're running away, and Zeus goes, "Hey, let's let me be your servant." And Nami goes, "Nah, we can be partners." Wink. And Zeus just turns into a big thundercloud and just bulldozes people just left, right, and center. And I don't know who says it, but somebody goes, "Tama isn't the only one with special powers, apparently." Just kind of a nice little joke to Nami's influence over Zeus. So that going on. Meanwhile, we cut back to CP0 because they're just the people chilling throughout this entire endeavor. They're just kind of sitting here. They're playing shogi or go. I think it's go. Although looking at the game, I used to play a game in elementary school called Othello, and it looks like the exact same concept. Exact same. You got the black tiles, you got the white tiles, and you're trying to end the game with the most tiles, and you can switch the others tiles by, placing, it's like white tile and then black tile, black tile. That white tile becomes a black tile. That's how it goes. And so I used to play that a lot in elementary school. It was so much fun. And, I had come up with some really cool strategies. Haven't played it ever since. So looking at this makes me think of that game. And like I said, we called it Othello. At least that was the name of the game. But I think it's just shogi, or it's not shogi. Shogi's like the chess version of, Japanese chess version. I think it's Go. Anyways, they're playing, and all the CP0 members are like, it doesn't matter which side wins, honestly. We're just here to make sure that, one guy with certain information, ends up death. We need to confirm his death. And kind of sitting there's like, really? Wonder who? And at first I was thinking Straw Hat Luffy, but they keep on talking. They're like, we can't allow a rogue to escape. Uh, he possesses old information, but it's still information, and so we can't allow him to escape. And so they're like, well, I don't think we have to really worry about that because he's fighting Jinbei. Whoa, they're worried about who's who. Because if you remember from last week's chapter, Who's Who is a former CP9 agent, said to rival Rob Lucci. So he's going up against Jinbei, and we transitioned into that fight. Chaos is still going around, and Jinbei's like, oh, so it's because Luffy has the Gum Gum fruit. That's why you have some kind of vendetta towards him. And who's like, really? It's not him that I'm mad about. It's the person who stole the Gum Gum fruit from me, red-haired Shanks. Whoa, mind blown, except we all pretty much knew it was Shanks because Shanks was the one that gave it to him. So, Shanks stole the Gum Gum fruit, which put shame upon Who's Who. So, Who's Who sought to, seek revenge against Shank, and in turn, Luffy's just kind of bled into that because Luffy carries on to Shank's will pretty much. He mentions the Straw Hat and the fact that Luffy wears the Straw Hat. So in my mind, that's just kind of like he recognizes Luffy as, part of Shank's will. So they're going on and they're just the fight's actually really cool. I've actually really liked it because there's several attacks where Who's Who is like using his Fang pistol, and it's like, how do I explain it? It's kind of like he uses his fangs and sends like not exactly laser beams, but he like cuts through the air with like a jaw. It's almost like he's sending teeth at him. Kind of makes me think of like Arlong. When Arlong was able to grow out his teeth real fast, it was like if Arlong could shoot out his teeth from his mouth and then grow them immediately. That's kind of what this attack looks like to me. And so, super cool, and it actually affects Haki. It goes through armament Haki. Jinbei gets cut up a little bit because of it. However, he still survives. He dodges around because he recognizes that getting hit by this attack is not fun at all. So they're running around, just kind of seeing. I've got the manga here, and so Who's Who was like, oh, there's something that I've been meaning to ask you, Jinbei. And Jinbei goes like, "Nani the fuck?" And he goes, "So, while I was in prison, one of the guards came up to me and told me that there used to be some kind of god that the slaves used to worship. They called him the sun god Nika, and apparently, it was said that the world brings the work. Yeah, it would bring laughter to those. Sorry, I'm rereading this because free them from the. Okay, so it's just kind of like Nico would bring laughter and hope to those who are suffering under enslavement. And then the guard disappeared a couple days later, and he was like, Who's Who was like, that must have been some kind of important information because why would this dude tell me that and then go disappearing? So that's why Who's Who escaped, because he was like afraid for his life. And so he ran and he was like, "Oh, yeah, Jinbei. So you were the leader of the Sun Pirates. You were captain of the Sun Pirates. And if I remember correctly, didn't the Sun Pirates used to be slaves? And didn't the whole Fishman race used to have a history of slavery?" And that immediately sets off Jinbei. Like nothing sets off Jinbei more than people talking about his race being enslaved. And you can tell that throughout this fight, Who's Who kind of looks down on Jinbei as the race, kind of like the cat looking down on the fish, which I can actually kind of see. I kind of like that little symbolism there. The whole, cat seeking its prey. And that just sets off Jinbei. Like, he gets super pissed. Like, super, super pissed. And, uh, Who's Who is doing the finger pistols. He's just constantly, like, doing finger pistols. Makes me think of, like, the, Gummo Gummo no Gatling gun. But instead of Gatling gun, it's those, death by finger pistol. And freaking Jinbei just guards all of them. He does like this repel, and kind of like in a way it's kind of reminiscent of Kid's machine, magnet opie, where he could repel. Makes me think of that a little bit. And basically Who's Who is like, what did I say that really, really ticked you off? And Jinbei goes, don't go half-assing someone else's history. Like, he gets super pissed off because Who's Who doesn't know a thing about the Fishman slavery, and it's the fact that he's ignorant as fuck. That's what pisses Jinbei off. He's like, you don't know anything. And so I like that. I like the whole stop assuming shit type of deal. It's something that I struggle with as a person. I assume things way too often. And so just kind of a cool little moral there, as what looks like Jinbei may have took out like it looks like he almost used Conqueror's hockey, either that or armament hockey, and knocked Who's Who out. Like, he punched him in the face and sent him flying. And that is the end of the chapter. There is a break next week. So, next Monday, I will be covering Black Clover. I'm doing this Manga Mondays. So, generally, when One Piece goes on break, that following Monday, I'll be doing Black Clover. I think that's kind of how I'm structuring this. So, you can tell me in the comment section down below what you think about this. Is there any other manga you want me to, talk about? Currently, I'm doing One Piece, Black Clover, and Made in Abyss. Those are the top 3 that I'm doing right now. However, I'm willing to look into other avenues. However, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. I hope I maybe pointed something out that you may not have noticed, and I'm sure there are things that you guys have noticed that I may not have. I'm not taking 101. Like, he notices every little thing. Him in Grand Line Review, it's insane. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you all so much. I'm the Anime Over Analyst, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.